Hello friends, welcome back. Um, this is a video that I've wanted to do for a while. I've been toying around with the idea and thinking, well, gee, what way could I do this video to kind of make it original so that I'm not like copying or copying or biting off some of the other people in the YouTube community. And I kind of wanted to have an original idea, but you know, so I started, sat down, I started thinking. I've seen some videos about the most overplayed songs on classic rock radio, and those videos were by some of my favorite YouTubers. I've subscribed to their channel, and their videos are always great. And I thought, well, they adequately covered the subject, but let me go at this from another angle, so that it's mine. It's my idea and it's my video. Kind of have an original here, so to speak. So it's similar, but my idea at the same time. What I want to talk about are some of the most overplayed artists on classic rock radio, not songs. So I noticed this, and I looked at some playlist data from a classic rock station, and this is what I came up with. I just looked at it from one day, and a lot of these artists that I'm going to discuss here are played a lot, and you got to wonder, what are these people thinking? So we're going to look at the data here. This particular station that I looked at, they played Led Zeppelin a lot. And this one particular day, which I gathered my data and looked at it, they played them 7 times. And, it's the same ones, Stairway to Heaven, Black Dog, stuff off Led Zeppelin, it's just stuff off Led Zeppelin 4. The stuff off of Physical Graffiti, Kashmir and such. The stuff off Led Zeppelin 3. But if you're going to play them 7 times a day, why don't you play a song like Your Time Is Gonna Come? A song like Communication Breakdown. Stuff like that. You never hear it. So you're going to play them 7 times a day, switch it up a little bit, I guess. I don't know. So here we have David Bowie. Folks, I understand he died a year ago, and he's got his fans and his disciples and people that love his music, but they play him an awful lot. They played him 3 times the one day, 4 times if you count Under Pressure, which is he did with Queen, which they also, the next artist I was going to talk about, that they play a lot. So in the interest of keeping the video short, we all know the songs. If you listen to classic rock radio, I'm just going to scan through this list. This is how many times they played these artists. And sometimes they play the artists, like Bad Company is on that list. They played them 1 time a particular day. I happened to sample the information. I was doing my fact gathering. It just happened to be that they played they played Bad Company 1 time that particular day. So, the day before that, they played them like 6 or 7 times. And it's the same songs. I don't care what fucking market you're in, what fucking city you're in, what classic rock station is the one that you listen to. They're all doing it. And then, you send an email to their program director, and, today you don't even get you don't get the thanks, we appreciate your feedback, but we follow trends, and we base our playlist on trends that we feel the public likes, would like to hear these songs based upon the data. So this is a pretty good idea. It doesn't, it doesn't matter what market or what city you're in. They're all playing these artists too fucking much, and enough is enough. So that being said, let me grab the phone with the other hand here. And guys, I'm sorry about the videos. I don't have a good camera right now, so I'm having to do this with the cell phone. So, I appreciate Mom helping me do that video yesterday. She was wonderful. So, I went through my CD collection. Yes, I still have a CD collection after all these years, guys. Some of these discs have been in my collection for over 20 years. So, I laid, what we do? 12 CDs here out on the table. These artists are all like classic rock artists. Some of them are a little redundant. I was repetitious, Y'all know who I like if you look at them. So, anyhow, these are artists I would like to hear more of on classic rock radio if these guys could, find it in their hearts to play these people more. So that first disc right there, that's Focus 3. That particular album, here's your track list right here. Round Goes the Gossip is a really good song. And Sylvia is also a good song. I highly recommend those of you, if you don't have that album, I got that real cheap on an online auction website. So, sound quality is great. And that's a really nice Focus album from the 70s. Actually, I think that, let me see what year that was. That was, when the hell did they do that? It was the early 70s, I believe, that one came out. Maybe early to mid 70s. Second album, Def Leppard, Hysteria. If you don't know that album, you've been asleep for the last 30 years. It's one of their best albums, one of their best-selling albums. Front to back, all good tracks. None of those tracks are filler. They're all good. Go buy it and listen to it. It's wonderful. I've worn out so many copies of that son of a bitch over the years. I highly recommend it. Good stuff. I'd love to hear some more of it on Classic Rock Radio. Ted Nugent. Some of you may not like him politically. He's a pretty outspoken individual. But you know what? Cat Scratch Fever and the self-titled debut, they're great. Some of the tracks are a little long, like Stranglehold, but, good stuff. Ted's an awesome guitar player, and his music's definitely, it's energetic and great. So, Black Sabbath, the one classic rock station I listen to, they've been playing Paranoid lately, but it'd be nice to hear Iron Man and Fairy Wears Boots once in a while. So anyway. We got Steve Winwood. I believe this is the Chronicles album. Yeah. A lot of the good hits on there, that he had over the years. There's your track list right there. The version of Valerie that's on there is actually the 1987 version, which I always thought sounded better. So Frampton, get good stuff on this album, man. Do you feel like we do? And for the love of God, Classic Rock Radio, please do not bastardize the live version of that song down to 7.5 minutes. Play the whole 14 minutes. That album, again, no filler material on that. It's a live album. It kicks ass. It's good cover to cover. All the tracks are good. This one here is often referred to as Styx' breakout album. Those Styx has actually been around, they were around for quite a while when this album came out. But, cover to cover, The Grand Illusion's great. There's no filler material in there. It's all good stuff. This is like a greatest hits album type thing, compilation from Toto. All the hits that anybody would know of are on there. Good stuff. I would love to hear more Toto on the classic rock stations. So, and again, I probably should have put these together, but, I guess you guys, you can't really tell who I like, who one of my favorite bands is. Okay, here's Styx, Pieces of 8. Good cover to cover. I actually like that album a little bit better than The Grand Illusion, though they're real close. I'm a huge Styx fan. And then you have Paradise Theater from 1981. I think they recorded it in 80. They released it in early 81, I believe is the release date for that. The release year. Good album. It's somewhat of a concept album. Still had Dennis DeYoung calling the shots a little bit there at that point. So, but, all in all, it's a good album. Hell of a lot better than that Kilroy album. So, Dennis, that wasn't your best decision, but, we live and we learn. So Paradise Theater, good album. I highly recommend it, as well as Pieces of Eight. And then this album here, when they play Boston, it's usually Foreplay Long Time, or Peace of Mind, or More Than a Feeling. All from the first album, which is a phenomenal album. I love it. That will forever be in my collection. But, this album here, Don't Look Back, is a great album too. This is their second album. You have some good stuff on there too. It would be nice to hear once in a while. So anyhow, in the interest of keeping the video a little short, I don't want to have, 20 and 30 minute long videos, so we're at just about 11 minutes with this one now. I just kind of wanted to give my thoughts. You guys, classic rock stations, you guys are playing these artists a little too much. And I thought the idea is to do what the listeners want to hear. Play what the listeners want to hear. Here's some of what I would like to hear these stations play more. Now, nobody's here to badmouth the stations. They're not horrible, but, you guys play those artists, on my list there so much that it's almost making me start to, dare I say, dislike songs that I love. I'm 36 years old. I've listened to these songs throughout my entire life. I'm the youngest sibling, so I really got into classic rock big in, right around the time Nirvana came out, because I really wasn't a big fan of the grunge era of music. Though, believe it or not, 25 years later, some of that stuff is tolerable now. And I will admit to having some Alice in Chains in my collection. But, this is the stuff I would like to hear more of on your station. And this is what we need to hear more of, So, Pink Floyd is great. Billy Joel's great. Elton John's great. Bad Company, Queen, Led Zeppelin, all those artists are great. But you know what? These sons of bitches are too. So, how about giving these guys that made great albums? That album sold a lot of copies. That album sold a lot of copies. That was considered their breakout album. That album sold millions of copies. He sold a lot of records in his lifetime. This album sold a lot of copies. Maybe not as much as his debut, but it's a hell of a follow-up album. And this artist here, if you like progressive rock, I also have the album with, also have the Focus album with Hocus Pocus on it. And I also have another one of their albums called Mother Focus from the mid-'70s, which is a great album too. So this is the kind of stuff I would like to hear more of on the station. So I guess I'm going to kind of conclude there and stop my ranting there. I think you guys kind of get the message of what I like and would like to hear more of. I'm sure some of you probably feel exactly the same way I do. And, to the others that have made videos about the most overplayed songs, I agree with you 100%. You're absolutely right. And I don't think it really matters what market you're in. They play this. It's the same songs over and over again. I wish they would cut it out and play some of these artists and the others a little bit more. And by the way, I was going to talk about Fleetwood Mac a little bit. Fleetwood Mac had two female singers. Christine McVie and Stevie Nicks. You wouldn't know that if you listen to classic rock radio, because all they ever play is Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks is great. Play the other one once in a while. She had a wonderful, soulful voice, Christine McVie. Play her. That's all I'm saying. So anyhow, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you bearing with me shooting these with this damn cell phone camera. It's all I got right now. We'll get a better camera at some point. And, stay tuned. We'll always have more exciting and interesting videos. Maybe one of these days I'll get around to doing another computer video, but, these are going to have to do for right now, guys. It's winter time, and, prices need to come down on some of them used computers if I'm going to upgrade them. So, at any rate, stay tuned, and thanks again for watching.